Hey y'all, it's good to see you. Happy Easter, and yeah, welcome to Nasal Academy. Except today I am going to sidestep any essential oil suggestions and talk a little bit about why I say what I do, the foundation for what I share, whether it's here or on my website, synergessence.com, or my Patreon page, which is Shifts Happen, and which is all about a wellness mindset, wellness being a state of mind as opposed to something that you would to achieve through good health. I see wellness actually um, really being the determinant for the quality of our health. And I say that because there's a lot of um, theories currently circulating around the world, um, eliciting a lot of emotions regarding this pandemic. And yes, I've offered suggestions on how to, what we can do in the interim for our children, to hand sanitizers and so forth. But the bottom line is, I'm not buying into any of these theories. I don't know if they're true. I mean, time will tell, right? Um, but what I can tell you is that essentially, um, the environment is at war with man. I mean, if you listen to any news and read anything, I mean, a lot of the verbiage is we are at war. Um, we're not just at war with a virus. Okay, this isn't a war with a microbe. This is our bodies are actually at war with ourselves, with our technology. The environment is at war with man. So nature, we are actually at war with nature. And again, I don't mean anything to sound scary and hopeless. That's not it. We have everything that we need to to protect ourselves, to stay as safe as possible, to offset degeneration, to prevent the decline in health. I mean, look, so I'm just gonna be really straight. And I actually about pulled my hair out last night when I overheard a newscaster, a news reporter, um, re- talking about the variations of that. Now there's saying that there's two different types of the coronavirus on the West Coast is different from that on the East Coast, and really emphasizing the need to go for a vaccine. Hey, look, if that's what you want to do, then I fully support that. It's our life is our decision. I mean, we get to choose what we want to do. Okay, and even if you did that, you could still include essential oils. So this isn't anti-vaccination at all. This is, let's just pay attention to a couple of things. First and foremost, um, colds, flus, viral infections, period, it, attack the body, if you will, and are kind of silent for a few days. And then, boom, symptoms. The symptoms arise. This is the coronavirus. This is the rhinovirus, which causes the cold, and the various flu viruses, okay? We get a we are encouraged to get a flu vaccination every single year. Why is that? Because the viruses are adapting. They're changing. They're just changing up, and it's all based on the environment, or I should say, it's based on our technology. Okay, so viruses are part of the environment, and when we start introducing things to prevent them from surviving or living, what do? They rise above. Okay, so this is how nature is at war with man. um, to get a vaccination for today's current coronavirus, while it may stop this particular virus in its tracks, but ultimately this virus is going to become enhanced. According to Dr. Fauci, that's the word he was using, is they become enhanced. And his concern is if we don't have the proper vaccination, then they become it's going to become more aggressive regardless. If if it's not about the right or wrong vaccination, it's the fact that the virus will adapt. You can't get a flu vaccination today and never get the flu again. Okay? You cannot develop antibodies to a cold and never get a cold again. You will get another cold. Okay? So this development of antibodies does not necessarily prevent you from ever getting another virus, a rhino or a coronavirus. That's what I'm getting at. So these things come into the body, and the body does what it's going to do to protect itself. Now, that said, the human body is incredibly unstable given the level of war that it's at with technology that we continue to introduce. This is not bad mouthing anything. I really want to underscore that. This is not bad mouthing anything. This is just what is. So, what do we do? Because this is a very reactive world. It's time to be proactive. And this is where essential oils come in. And one of our first lines of defense is our nose. The nose introduces, I mean, antibodies, the reason why they're swabbing noses and testing antibodies in the nose is because you can just, the IgA, immunoglobulin A, and immunoglobulin G, and all of its subclasses are detected in the nose. This will go with allergens, and this goes with the rhino and the coronavirus. So if you've been exposed to an allergen or one of these types of viruses, you're going to be producing these antibodies in your nose. It doesn't mean that you won't get sick, because if your body is stressed enough, whether it be for the environment or mental and emotional distress, it'll get worse. So in many respects, the nose is our first line of defense because the immune system and the nasal and the nose, the olfactory system, interact. It's hands down. They've been able to determine that immune cells can cross the blood-brain barrier, and yeah. So using oils is not only a way of combating, because we talk about oils all the time as far as being antiviral, antimicrobial, antiseptic. That's the reason why I did the thing for the hand sanitizers. However, and it's also the reason why I talk about why it's a really good idea to be just using oils in general. I did a blog post called The Physiology and Chemistry of Wellbeing. It's on my ultimate guide. It's on, if you scroll down it, I wish I could put the link here, but I mean, maybe I will. I can find it. So the link's in the description box if you're here. But I actually get into very specific plant constituents that actually help with DNA repair. Okay. Another thing that is impacting our DNA, before I forget anything, but I encourage you to read that one because, and I talk about the next thing in what makes COVID-19 so dangerous is because the 5G that we are having, with our internet and our phones and so forth. It's the video I did. Be careful what you wish for. Has millimeter waves have the ability to affect genetic expression. Guess what else does? So do the oils. So there again is another example that the body is at war with the environment, or with, the environment is at war with our technology, with man. And we have brilliant people out there really producing some amazing things. But if we don't start using something deliberately, like authentic and genuine essential oils to help on a grand scale, and what makes them different from medications is that they're not as concentrated, so you've got to use them a little bit more frequently. This is the reason for putting them by the nose, again, nasal academy, because the sesquiterpenes in specific oils will actually cross the blood-brain barrier and improve systemic health. Continue to provide stability is another way to say it. It'll provide stability. It provides the body stability enough so that the body can actually be healthy in order to protect us from this 5G. It's not that 5G is a bad thing. It's just that it has been demonstrated to affect genetic expression. This is why in Russia they're using it for various health treatments. This is the reason why we have radiation therapy and for cancer. So in order to help the body restore stability, the inclusion of oils is very, very matter of fact. And so essentially, we're at war with our own technology. But we have what we need to keep us safe and healthy and strong. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.